education, but I think I'd like to just correct it. I think lack of proper education is one of it. Because the youth have not been exposed to different ideas. And what we are taught, we are, you know, that to believe is what we believe. We have not been, we're not taught to think critically. That's where the problem is. And I feel like if you want to tackle the problem of homophobia, you should first tackle the problem of patriarchy as well. It also has to do with that. And a lot of the problem of homophobia comes from that, from patriarchal, because like we mentioned about the word pandero, because they don't only use that word for gay people. When their son cannot do something that, yeah, when their son is not, like, let's say they ask their son to pick up something, he's not strong enough to pick it up. Oh, what are you pandero? Like to make fun of him, to diminish him. So it's a word that they use to diminish people, that he's not man enough, that you have to man up yourself. So I feel like it's all very interconnected, and it has to do with all this lack of proper education and
Yeah, and there's also an internal challenge coming from the community itself that it's still using the term, the derogatory, the derogatory term. So, what do you think about this, Manabela? Yeah, among communities.
Well, this is the issue. I guess the biggest issue that the LGBTI in Timor face is not only from the heterosexual community, but the LGBTI itself have issues. Because we have, not all of us, actually when you ask, so what is gay? What is heterosexual? Or what is transgender? Many of them still cannot come up with a good definition. As simple as that. And even we pick up those names that given by the society to put down each other. One gay was said, oh, fine little boy, you gay guy, and then the other, you also gay guy. So, but basically, we picked up those words, names that given by heterosexual, and then gay fighting one another using those words. It's very common here. And another thing that I think, because the community has been somehow isolated, far from progress, not everybody actually, not everybody, I'm not saying big enough, but not everyone actually have the opportunity to have a good job, good education. A lot of young girls, yeah, even my neighbors, she was only elementary school. She had to leave the school simply because she refused to put skirt. That's something that many people think is very normal, but for me to think about it is not normal at all. These kids refuse to put skirt, so the school principal kicked her out. And today, this kid is not even finished her high school. Now, this is one case we know of. How many that we don't know? There are many like that. There are many who just not even reaching out to any level of education, simply because the conditions of the school is already demanding certain things that they cannot pay for, or they cannot face it. So most of them stay home. And even a lot of lesbians community members that I know of who force themselves to set up a family just like a heterosexual family, because this is how we're being accepted. And you can see that their lives are totally forced into that lifestyle. And then some of them, they have the clandestine life with having another girlfriend here and there. We know of it, but we just can't do anything about it. And I also know the story of young girls who beaten up by her girlfriend's brothers all the time, or the family, and she cannot report it to the police because the case is way, way too sensitive. And then if it happened, it's going to be reported, then will be reported as a um, domestic violence. It's not about being attacked because of your identity as lesbian or bisexual or transgender or transsexual. So the things have to be twisted. And it's very complicated. Very, very complicated. But the issue of gay, lesbians, I just say LGBTI, you see that how complicated it is. Just like the issue of women's rights in East Timor. Today, Nata was mentioned about patriarchy system. Has a huge influence in almost all levels of struggles that people are still continuing. Let alone LGBTI rights, women are still fighting to be recognized as equal partners in this country, same partners as every other people in this country. So it's a long, long struggle. We still stay far from the progress. So by having this ASEAN People's Forum coming for the first time in Timor, for me personally, is a great sign. It's a great open gate to the community of LGBTI. So I went to Thailand a few months ago. It was the first time I involved in this issue. And I see that somehow we see space are coming. And now depending on the members of LGBTI here in Timor to take up this kind of opportunity. We do not have that as many as other countries have. So therefore, make use of this, and then, just try to come out and speak out about what is really that we wanted to make the difference. People cannot help us if we do not know what we want. We got to know what we want here. We have to identify what it is important that we can do, or those that we cannot do that we get support from the outside. Otherwise, the situation of Timor today, it's just today. We're not moving forward.
Okay, wow, very inspiring. And for the next, maybe I will ask for to